All right, here we go. All right, what's going on, Matrix? Welcome to another edition of Matrix Unplugged. We've got our special co-host back today, PB the God Peyton. What's going on, dude?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Doing pretty good, doing pretty good. Sherrod Alpha Male's not going to be here today. He's out in Dallas for work, so it's just going to be us two, no special guest. But let's go ahead and get this thing moving along. So, as usual, we're going to crank it up with trades. Peyton, were there any big trades that happened this last week that caught your eye?
Oh, my bad. Yeah, that's Stephon Diggs trade actually. I believe he traded. My bad. I'm just going through and looking. I believe he traded Stephon Diggs for Golden Tate in a first and a fifth round pick. That's actually a pretty good trade. I mean, he got reasonable amount back for Stephon Diggs. I mean, he's probably looking to rebuild if he especially got rid of a key piece that probably could take him through the playoffs. Um,
Definitely, definitely. I think the Vikings are really focusing on rebuilding and getting rid of a lot of bad cap and bad contracts because Stephon Diggs, yeah, he was young and a superstar, but he was going to cost a lot of money. Same thing with Daniil Hunter. I know he moved Daniil Hunter out, and I know that he has the Kirk Cousins contract, so he's building for the future, but it's just really shocking for me to see these big names shipping out. And the Jets, they're quietly having a really, really good front office up there in New York.
Yeah. Oh, another trade I was actually interested in was a Saints trade. They got rid of Cameron Jordan for a first and a second round pick, so he's definitely trying to rebuild and probably get some picks in for the future.
Yeah, and the Buccaneers, I want to say they already had a top five defense, and now they're just adding another piece to that. So, really good look on their part. The Saints, I'm not sure what they were doing here. Guess they're going to go ahead and start getting ready for that draft, like you said. Hopefully, they are a pretty good team builder, but they got a pretty good haul for Cameron Jordan getting a first and second. He's an aging superstar, but he does have the X factor. So, getting a first and second was pretty good for him, and I know the Bucks are going to be able to use Cam Jordan pretty well.
Yes, sir.
So we also have the Ravens and the Vikings trade, like we spoke of earlier with Daniil Hunter. This one right here, I had absolutely no idea what was going on here. I do know that you get Jonah Williams, a young superstar offensive line. You get a DB, Brandon Carr. You get a fourth round pick. But Daniil Hunter is one of the top three pass rushers in the game. It's kind of hard for me to swallow that pill if I was the Vikings to get rid of him.
Yeah, I mean he got a lineman, I guess, for his front line. I guess he got rid of Daniil Hunter maybe because of a big contract, but I feel like he didn't get reasonable amount back for somewhat what he gave away. I mean, like you said, Daniil Hunter's the top three rusher in the game. So I mean, I would have asked him for maybe like a second round pick, maybe with what he gave me on top of like the players. So I mean, it is however he felt about the trade. If he felt like he won, then
Yeah,
it's
as
a good
long as
trade.
both
But
guys are happy, I'm happy. But I definitely think that he could have got more. I think he could have probably squeezed in a second round pick or a first round pick there. But nevertheless, he's got rid of the contract of Hunter. He's got his young offensive lineman. He's got a DB. He's moving on. So we also had a New York to New York trade. I did pick up AJ Bowie earlier in the season. He didn't really fit what I was trying to do on defense, so I had to move him out. I was able to get a an old veteran center that I could go ahead and put in the middle, John Sullivan. Got a second and third round pick. Wasn't the best trade I could have got, but I was able to go ahead and move Bowie. I don't have that salary, that cap hit anymore. I think this is going to work out pretty well for me, and then it's going to work out well for the Giants. He's competing. He's in win now mode right now. He's loading up on talent over there.
yeah, I was gonna say look like the Jets in rebuild mode. So I mean, you got rid of AJ Boye. You got rid of a 7 round pick for this year's second round and a next year's third round pick, and you got
Yeah,
a good center. I guess you could put in the middle
yeah.
with Le'Veon running.
I've shifted a lot of guys out. I've shipped a lot of guys out. I've got I think 14 or 15 draft picks in this upcoming draft. So once the season ends, if any of you guys have a deficit as far as the draft picks go, come see your boy White Dragon up here in Gotham City. We can make something
Hmm.
happen. The biggest surprise I would have to say collectively has got to be the Panthers. The Panthers have made some big, big moves this last week. They took a few bad losses. They are still learning the game. It seems like they're kind of getting their offense down pat, trying to become more efficient. But they have made some money moves this last week, dude.
Yeah, this trade they just had. He traded Cam Newton, Shaq Thompson, and a first for Devin White and Jameis Winston. I mean, I guess he's trying to like be like a rebuild mode or just try something new. Maybe just trading just to see, um, I guess collectively just get ready for the future. It seems like he's not really in win now mode because he's trying to get rid of most pieces that he has. But I mean, nonetheless, it's a good trade. He got Devin White and Jameis Winston.
Yeah, and at first, when I first looked at this on the surface, I thought the Panthers made some bad moves. And the more I looked at it, I kind of started to understand what he's doing. And it's really crafty and creative. He's kind of taken himself out of that having to rebuild and build players and train them and draft them. And he's taking all of his assets and building a team for the future today, right now. So he's got superstar corners now. He's got some superstar linebackers, superstar safeties back there. He doesn't have to do anything else. His team is young. His team is full of superstars. All he has to do is play the games now. So if he starts losing, this next, 4 or 5 weeks and next season, then he'll have some problems. But he has got an amazing defense now. He's probably got the best defense in the league now after the moves he's made. He's got so many superstars, a lot of young guys, a lot of good moves. He did ship out a lot. He sent a lot of veterans out, a lot of draft picks out, but he doesn't have to take that risk when the draft comes. If you've got that first round pick and you blow that first round pick and you end up getting a bum, what was the whole point of even drafting? Versus he knows he went ahead and he got Devin White, he got Jameis Winston, he went ahead
Got
and
Landon
got
Collins.
yeah, he got Landon Collins, he got Sean Murphy Bunting, so he has guarantees. It's kind of hard to
Oh
turn
man,
down getting those guarantees.
I think he got like Buda Baker. I mean, I think he got Michael Pilardi,
Oh yeah, he's
or
he's
he got somebody else. He had somebody crazy. I couldn't believe he got.
yeah, he's made some really good moves, dude. He is really, really setting himself up. So good job, Panthers. You made the right moves, but it took me a little while to kind of understand it. But he's got a mastermind plan going over there, and it's working out. So we'll see if he can translate that to the football field. So moving on from the trade department, we're going to go ahead and head on into statistics. So in stats, let me tell you, Peyton, some of the biggest things that's jumping off to me right off the bat. Lamar Jackson, he is dominating the league, and nobody has an answer for it. He's got
Yeah,
2,480 yards, 34 passing touchdowns, and 63 completions. People just cannot slow this guy down, dude.
yeah, man. The guy's averaging 354 passing yards a game. Fellas, if you're playing the Ravens, make him run. He wants to pass. He wants to pass. You're either gonna have to put some pressure on him or get him out of his game, but you got to make this man run the ball because if he's passing, it's gonna be a long day for you.
Definitely, definitely. If you come out there and you're running 4-3 and 3-4, he's going up top on you guys. He's a smart player, and he's going to put you in the dirt if you want to be there. If you see that something's not working, if you keep calling a certain coverage, if you keep calling a certain passing play, and it's not working, stop going to it. You're not fooling anybody. If you run 4 verticals 5 times in a row and you get 5 interceptions 5 times in a row, you're the dummy, not the other person.
Yeah, I agree.
So Deshaun Watson, early on in the season, he wasn't really doing much, but he's really coming on strong these last couple of weeks. He's got 1,800 passing yards, over 200 rushing yards, 17 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. He's got a positive interception to touchdown ratio. Deshaun Watson's looking good, Peyton.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson, one of them guys where he's very versatile. He can either pass it or run it. He's in a good position. I mean, he's top five in passing. He can run the ball if he needs to. He has a 60% completion percentage, and he's throwing the ball for at least 266 yards. I mean, he has one of the highest passer ratings in the NFL at 112.9. So I mean, you playing this guy too, you probably want to make him run the ball as well, more or less. But he's very versatile. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's doing everything well, and he's efficient. If you're able to go up top, you're able to escape the pocket, and you're efficient, that's a lethal weapon right there. This guy is looking really good. So, Matt Ryan, we got Ron down there in Atlanta. Early on, I know the Falcons weren't putting up some nice stats. He lost a few games, but Matt Ryan's putting up some numbers now. He's got over 2,000 passing yards and 22 passing touchdowns. He's trying to give Lamar Jackson a run for his money.
Oh yes, sir, yes, sir. He 22 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. I mean, that's still a pretty good touchdown to interception ratio. And his passer rating's 102.9. So I mean, he's moving the ball now. He's throwing the ball pretty good, even though he had a late start off, but he's catching up. I mean, has a good offense, good defense. He's still in the race in the NFC South, so if he keeps it up, he possibly could win the division if he keeps it up.
Oh, yeah, definitely, definitely. So Todd Gurley, you are making some good plays out there with Todd Gurley, man. He's got 707 rushing yards, 10 rushing touchdowns, 21 catches, 188 receiving yards. You're finally starting to get him involved in the passing game. Looking good out there with Todd Gurley, dude.
Oh yeah, man, appreciate that. Yeah, he's in one of those guys where he can do anything, man. You get ball out the backfield, or you can pass to him and he'll make a move. I mean, he's either way too. You got to watch him come out the backfield.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to win when you've already got a pretty talented roster like you, dude. So.
Ah man, I just need some linemen, man. The only thing I'm missing is a front line now.
So we touched on him some last week, but Zeke is still doing his thing. Zeke's got 660 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns. Not a lot going on in the passing game. I'd like to see Zeke come out of the backfield a little bit more. I don't think he has, more than just a handful of catches. To me, if you want to really take advantage of Zeke, you got to get him involved in the passing game too. Once you get him out into space, he can just throw a stiff arm down, a juke move. He can take it to the house. So, maybe he needs to kind of start getting outside the tackles a little bit with Zeke.
Yeah, I was gonna say it seems like he's giving the ball a lot rushing, but if he gets him involved in the passing game, I mean, if it's a one-on-one or he has a chance to make a move, he's more than likely gonna break somebody or stiff arm them. So I mean, if you get him involved in a one-on-one, more than likely he's gonna win that battle more
Definitely.
times than not.
Definitely. And speaking of the passing game, Saquon Barkley, he has to be the most balanced running back we have in the league. He's looking amazing. He's got almost 1,500 combined yards so far. He's got 633 rushing yards, 10 rushing touchdowns, 721 receiving yards, 4 receiving touchdowns. This man is laying people out. The Giants user, Mad Cow, he knows how to use Saquon Barkley. He's the superstar X Factor. He is securing wins. He's playing smart football. And Saquon Barkley is probably going to get running back of the year, and he might damn near get MVP of the season.
Yeah, so if he keeps it up and how he's moving the ball, how he's catching, how he's using Saquon, he'll be up there for sure in the MVP talks. More than likely, if not, he wins the MVP.
Definitely, definitely. He knows how to use Saquon Barkley. I'm glad that Saquon Barkley's got somebody that knows how to use the sticks. So down in Tennessee with the Titans, we got T. Will Trigonasana. He's got Derrick Henry looking pretty good. He's not really killing it with the yards, but he does have 11 touchdowns. So it looks like he's moving the ball downfield, and he's pounding it in with Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry looks pretty good. Like to see him get a little bit more involved in the passing game, but I do know that Derrick Henry has a pair of bricks for hands, so that's probably not going to happen. But he is, I want to say he's number 1 or 2 in rushing touchdowns in the league with 11 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, I want to say he's number one, honestly. I haven't, I think, me, I think the Rams have 10 and the Giants have 10 with Saquon Barkley. So, I mean, in rushing,
So that puts
and,
him
and he hasn't even,
so that'll
yeah,
put him number
he
one then.
has, yeah, he has 11 rushing touchdowns and he only has 92 attempts. So, I mean, when he's getting the ball, he's either getting in the end zone or he's being very effective with the ball. He's
Yeah.
averaging 5.6 a touch. So, I mean,
Yeah, if it was me, feed Derrick Henry some more. If he's getting that type of numbers just out of 90 something carries, give him the ball more. Hell, give him the ball 25, 30 times a game.
oh, yeah, definitely.
So
Definitely.
moving on to some receivers. So Julio, he is spreading his wings. He is looking good as of late.
Hmm.
He's got 768 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns. He's coming after our leading league receiver. He's a little bit behind him. He might catch him. He might reel him in. But Julio is finally looking good. Ron's finally putting him to good use.
Oh yeah, Julio by himself is averaging 110 yards or 109.7 yards to be exact per game. So I mean, if you're playing this guy, I'm more focusedly on him. And but yeah, try to slow him down. That's all you can do is just try and slow him down. But that's Julio, so that's gonna be tough.
Yeah, and Julio's one of those guys, you don't really have to have creative routes for him. He doesn't have to really do a lot after the catch. He doesn't have to be wide open. Just throw it up. It's really hard to guard somebody this big, this fast, who can just go up and get the ball. It's going to be really hard to find a corner that's, 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", to even be able to get up there with him.
Oh yeah, and he's not a slow guy either. Even though he's that big, he's not a slow guy. You want to
No,
put some
no.
speed. It's hard to find somebody with some speed and a big guy that can kind of stay with him, I guess you could say.
Definitely, definitely. And then, obviously, our leading wide receiver in the league, it's Hollywood Marquise Brown. 29 catches, 973 yards receiving, 17 touchdowns. When I look at these stats, this tells me one thing. He's going up top. He's killing people with big bombs. You guys have got to play back on that coverage. Do your homework. If you guys are worried about people putting up big numbers and stats, look at the stats from the previous games. If you see that they're passing the ball 50 times a game, you might want to come out and quarter, nickel, dollar. If you see that they have just a few catches but tons of yards, they're hitting you with big bombs. Try to prevent those big bomb plays. Stop using flats, going across the middle. They're not throwing flats. They're going for the bomb.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Especially if you're playing the Ravens, he's looking to go deep. He's not looking down. He's not checking down flats. He's looking to go deep. So I mean, if you're playing this guy, you either gotta shut him down or make him play out of his game. Because if not, it's gonna be a long day for you. He's gonna put up 50 or 60 on you easily.
Definitely. And Alpha's my dude. He's always playing with the target on his back. People always, feeling some type of way. But you know what? He's the best in the business right now. His players are performing. If you guys want to beat him, get into the lab, learn who he is, learn to stop what he's doing. You guys start learning how to play this game. If you can't play the game, look on YouTube, ask your mama, ask your friend, ask Peyton, ask me. We'll try to help you out. But you got to try to start competing in this league. You guys don't want to be at the bottom. So,
Yeah.
are there any rookies that are standing out to you? I know that Devin White's been looking pretty solid. He was involved in that trade. Obviously, Hollywood Brown's looking good. Boykin's looking good. Anybody else standing out to you?
More rookies, probably. Yeah, like you said already, Devin White. I mean, he's an animal. I mean, that's one
Yeah,
person I definitely would look at for sure. But more so on the defensive end, I'm trying to find somebody that's a rookie that I can't even really find, honestly.
well, we got my man Cashman with the Jets there. Old Cashman, early on, he wasn't doing much. I was able to get the XP upgrade for him, so he went up to star. He was started off the season at a normal trait. He's got about 8 or 9 sacks. He's got 2 or 3 interceptions, interception returns, one per touchdown. So looking pretty good down there. Obviously, Devin White. I know we keep talking about Devin White, but he's a walking cheat code. I want to say he's got 93 speed. I mean, he's faster than most receivers and corners in the game. Um, Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins is looking pretty good, pretty efficient up there. JT the boss is playing solid, smart football up there, keeping the numbers really fair.
Oh yeah. Speaking of rookies, I have a right outside linebacker. I moved from middle linebacker to right outside linebacker. He was a 60 overall. I got him to a star trait, and he's a 70 overall. So I
Oh,
mean,
nice,
he's been
nice,
killing it for me.
nice.
I think he has like a three tackle, or he had like 10 sacks. I think like maybe like 2 interceptions, 3 interceptions. I
Well,
mean, he's doing good for me.
definitely. If you guys didn't really get a shout out with your players, there are some quarterbacks out there that stone for a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns, but also a lot of picks. We're not going to highlight guys that are inefficient. If you got 15 touchdowns and 20 interceptions, we're not going to show you any love. That's not efficiency. You want to have a, pretty fair, even or positive touchdown interception ratio. So make sure you're efficient.
Oh,
A lot of you guys want to
oh
keep
the
going
piggy.
forward. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. To piggyback off that, another rookie that we didn't really talk about that was passing pretty good was Dwayne Haskins. He's thrown for 1,533 yards. He has a pretty good QBR rating. He's on 63% completion, and he's thrown for 14 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. So that's one quarterback or one rookie, I guess you could say, that you got to look at. That's in the positives right now.
Definitely. Him and Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's thrown a lot of picks, but Kyler Murray, hell, he's, top 5 in rushing in the league, and he's a quarterback. So he's taken off. He's got wheels. Good to see Dwayne Haskins finally coming around. So
Yeah, I
that's
was gonna
it.
say, fellas, what are we doing? Kyler Murray is second in rushing. This guy is rushing more than running backs.
You
If
guys
you're
got
playing the Cardinals, like
Q,
man, like you,
QB spy, QB contain. Real simple.
yeah, like this guy here, he's gonna run the ball. Kyler Murray, like this man is second leading rusher in the NFL, and he's a quarterback. That's crazy.
Insane. It is insane. So moving on to scouting, this is something we added this week. We're going to go ahead and start going over some of the guys coming out of college,
Oh
seeing
yeah.
what they look like, seeing what their stats are looking like, so we can give you guys a leg up getting ready for the offseason. So we're going to go through the top 5 projected players right now. So the number 1 is Thaddeus Wilkerson. He's a strong safety, looking pretty good already. He's got good pursuit, good awareness, solid hit power. He's projected to be an early first rounder. He's only 22 years old. He's a little light. He's 5'10", 197, coming out of Penn State. He's a zone strong safety. The only problem with him so far is he is injured. He messed his knee up a little bit, just tweaked it. He'll probably be back in a few weeks, but look for him to kind of take over the college scene here in the next few weeks. The number 2 guy is a corner, Enrique Shepard. He's coming out of Utah. This guy is a dog. He's 5'10", 185, 21 years old. He's a man-to-man corner, so you know he's going to have agility. You know he's going to have wheels. He's got good man coverage, good awareness, good press coverage. Early first rounder. I'm sure when the combine comes out, Peyton, his combine scores are going to be through the roof.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially in a man-to-man, and he has these kind of grades just going off of it. He's gonna be a dog, I guess you could say, in a man-to-man coverage, or if you ever need to go to man-to-man, it's got to be a great substitution to put in for man-to-man coverage.
Definitely. He's looking pretty good out there in Utah. He's already got 2 interceptions, 7 tackles, and a sack. He's a pick machine. He reminds me a lot of kind of like a Patrick Peterson. So if you guys need a corner in the draft, look early in the first round. You've got plenty of good corners. Speaking of, let's go ahead and look at the number 3 guy. That's going to be Keshawn Vaughn. He's also a corner. He's 5'10", 183, 22 years old. He came out of Cal, man-to-man, solid man coverage, good awareness, good play recognition. He's also another projected early first rounder. He's looking good as well. But this guy, he gets it going in the return game as well. He's got one interception touchdown. He's got 4 tackles, and he has a punt return touchdown representing Cal. This guy right here could be, jack of all trades, Peyton.
Oh yes, sir. He's another man-to-man guy that you could use as well, but he's also going to be in the return game. It's another guy I would get for sure if I need another cornerback, just based off his stats as well. I mean, he's 5'10", 183. He's basically like he's kind of, I don't even know who to really compare this guy to, but he's going to be a dog in both sides of the game, either in your return game or defense-wise.
Yeah, he's definitely on the smaller side, but you can tell he's gonna be fast. He's got wheels. He can keep up with anybody, it looks like. But he might not be able to compete with those bigger, dominant physical receivers. But we'll see what happens when he gets to the league. Moving on to the number 4 college recruit right now, we've got Raymond Beal. He's a defensive end. Real big boy. He's 6'5", 265. He's 22 years old out of LSU. He's a power rusher. His numbers are looking great. His skills are B+ at tackle, B+ at hit power, B+ at power moves. He's projected to be an early first rounder. The dude looks like he's a murderer. Look up there on the top. He's got a weird-looking face. He looks like he means business. This guy is off the chain, man. He's got 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 safety. He's getting to the backfield. He's blowing up runs. He's hitting the quarterback. If you need a defensive end, you got to get you a player like this, Peyton.
Oh yes, sir. If I had a top 5 pick, and I'd probably skip over the cornerbacks and the safety and go straight to this guy, just cause based off his numbers, how big he is, how fast he is, he's a monster. Oh man, you can put him in a defense with some guys on the line that's not good, and he can change the whole game.
Yeah, he reminds me of like a J.J. Watt. He's got some reach to him. He's big. He may not be the fastest. He may not be the quickest, but he's just got so many different skills that he can use to attack you.
Most definitely.
So the last college player that we're going to go over today is a defensive tackle, Kyle Cone. He is a big boy. He is huge. He's 6'5", 318 pounds. He's a big fellow. I mean, this guy right here, he takes up 2 spots. If you've got 2 defensive tackles on your team, get rid of him. Use this one guy. He's so fat, he'll block up the whole middle. All right, he's coming out of Michigan State. He's a run stopper. He's ranked number 5 right now. He's got an A- in block shedding, A- in pursuit, B- in awareness. This guy, he is looking stupid. I mean, those are some insane numbers for a rookie coming out. He's projected to be a mid-first rounder. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes top 5.
I don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't know how, man. These numbers look better than our top 4 we just talked about. He's 6'5", 318.
Yeah,
this ain't no little dude right here.
No, I mean, that's a big boy right there. He's got 8 tackles so far in the season. He's got a forced fumble. He's got a fumble recovery. He's got 2 sacks. So big boy is able to move. He holds his weight well. He's pretty agile for a big fella. If you guys need a defensive tackle, somebody plug up the middle, this might be a guy you want to look at. I don't need one. I am going to have a top 10 pick. Kind of wish I did need a defensive tackle just so I could get this guy on my squad. But definitely if you all are having trouble stopping the run, having trouble locking up pressure up the middle, you want to go after Kyle Cone. He is looking really, really good. So the last thing, Peyton, we're going to go ahead and go over the division battles. So let's jump right into it. The AFC North, nothing really changing up. Nothing really changing up here. We've got the Ravens. They're at the top of the AFC North, 7-0. Then you have the Browns, Bengals, and Steelers all playing clean up there towards the bottom. Ravens have put up only allowed 147 points. They put up 362 points. This guy has offense for days. When you all play him, you got to come correct on defense. He has got his offense in check. The Steelers, they're holding down the bottom of this league, of this division. 71 points forced, 290 points allowed. He's got to get it together. I know he's going to work on it. Bengals has made some moves for the future. I know he's going to get this ship righted maybe by the end of the season or next year. And the Browns, let me tell you, he's a big disappointment. He'll beat a heavy hitter one week. He beat me. I want to say he beat the Seahawks, or he beat another big time team, and then he'll throw up a deuce on a couple of them. So he's got to get it together and get all on the same page if he wants to be able to compete with Sherrod up there.
Oh yeah, more so. I was gonna say, oh, that season, that division is not over with yet. It's still early. Anything can happen, fellas. I would just try to go by each week and just try to get a win. Just work and see if you can stay with the Ravens, man. More than likely, just try to stay in the division race, or just see if at least you can make it to the playoffs, because that division is not over with yet.
Well, that sounds cute and all. You guys, Peyton is an optimist, but he's got a 4-game lead on the rest of the division, so you know what time it is. Go ahead and start getting ready for next year if you're the Browns, Bengals, or Steelers. Moving on to the AFC South. Peyton, if you would, let me know what's going on in the AFC South, brother.
All right, you got the Titans sitting at 5-2. They've allowed 163 yards. They've allowed 163 points, and they scored 213 points. They're on a 1-game losing streak. The Texans are 6-1 at the top of the division. I thought the Titans were. I'm sorry for that. Texans are at the top of the division at 6-1. They've allowed 133 points. They scored 218, and they're on a 3-game winning streak. Colts and Jaguars are not out of that race either. I'm trying to tell you, it's still early. You just got to get some wins, go by week, and just try to catch up with these guys, man, and just try to stay in there. You don't want to, unless you're in rebuild mode. If you're in rebuild mode, it's something different. But other than that, just try to play it and try to catch up with them.
You know what I've got to say about that? Live. Jaguars, Colts, you are out of it. Prove me wrong. Get back in there. You're looking like trash. Absolute trash. Get back in the game. Prove it to me. I don't want to hear no talk. Let's go on to AFC East. What's going on in the AFC East, Peyton?
In the AFC East, you got the Jets sitting at top 4-2. 4-2. He has allowed 121 points. He scored 166. The Bills 2-4. They've allowed 143. They scored 76. The Patriots are 2-5. They've allowed 203 and scored 124. The Dolphins have allowed 154 and scored 83. Fellas, y'all are only 3 games back from the Jets. Please do not let him win this division. Y'all are not out of that race at all.
Yeah, you guys, and I'm barely beating guys. I'm, not putting up big stats, not putting up big numbers. Luckily, the Dolphins, Patriots, and Bills, I think they're all in rebuild mode, so I might get lucky and win this division this year. Next year, I'll probably be at the bottom. But, yeah, it's been a nice little division. We have some pretty good battles early on. The Bills and I had a tight game. Patriots and I had some good games. Waiting to play the Dolphins to see if I can even slow down Zeke. But I think I might get lucky because these guys are all in rebuild mode. They're playing possum. Don't read too much into their stats versus some of the other guys in the other divisions. But this is going to be a good division, I think, come next year. I think the Patriots are getting ready to unload a lot of veteran talent for some rookies. I know that they last night posted they have a lot of guys on the trade block. The Bills have been making some big moves. So we'll see what happens with this division. Moving on to the AFC West. Let me tell you, I am completely surprised with my man Sonny up there, Lubu Dynasty with the Chargers. This man has never made a playoffs before in a 32-man league. Hell, I don't know if he's ever won a game before. But he's sitting at 6-1. 6-1, dogging people out. Joey Bosa's got 15 sacks. Melvin Gordon is doing his thing. He just beat the Titans, who were their division leader this last week. So he's playing some opponents that are pretty good, and he's beating them. You got Danny right there at 5-0. I know Danny and the Chargers are going to be battling it out here soon. They've got 2 division games towards the end of the year, so that'll be nice to see what happens there. The Chiefs and Broncos, they're letting me down, Peyton. I mean, what's going on here? You got Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. Just go ahead and trade them away. If you ain't doing nothing with them, send them to me,
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised at that division, honestly. You would think the Chiefs would be a little bit higher. I mean, but he is sitting at 3-4, but he has one of the best quarterbacks and wide receivers in the game, so I would probably try to utilize that as much as I could. Broncos, I know they've been trading a lot, getting some pieces. He might just have to go to rebuild mode because I don't know if he's going to be able to catch the Raiders or the Chargers at this point, the way they're playing.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be a pretty good battle, but I think it's just going to be a two-team battle with the Chargers and the Raiders. And unless the Chiefs can try to get something going, they're not too far out of the number two spot, but we'll see. I know they've lost a couple division games early on. The Broncos, you got to get it together, man. I don't know what you're doing down there. You got rid of Von Miller. You got 15 running backs on your team. I don't know what the point is of that. You need to trade one of them away. Get some defense. Get some offensive line. Get it together, man. You're 1-6. Come on, people are gonna laugh at you, man. You don't want people laughing at you, man. It's not good. It happens to me all the time, bro. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the NFC North. This is the
Mm.
worst, terrible, crappiest garbage bag of bums I've ever seen in my life, bro.
Okay, I'm not gonna say that. This is what I'm gonna say, fellas.
Say it.
Out of all, out of all the divisions that we're gonna be talking about today, this division, I keep saying everything's wide open. This is the most wide open division I have seen just by looking at it. Nobody's out of this. No, I don't even care if you're in rebuild mode. Nobody's out of this division right now. The Vikings are sitting at the top at 3-4, 3-4. The next three teams are tied for second or 2-4. So I mean, just win a couple games. If you get something going, if you get like a little 4 or 5 game winning streak, you might be sitting up there by yourself, and all you got to do is just coast all the way to the end. So I mean, it's not far away.
Well, let me tell you the way I look at this. You said nobody's out of this division. I think nobody's in this division. Nothing but trash. 3-4 with the Vikings. You got rid of all your talent. You shipped out Daniil Hunter, Stephon Diggs. What are you doing, Clarence? What are you doing, man? I don't get it. Prove me wrong. Do something nice. The Lions, this team's been all over the place. We've had a couple of different owners. I hope this new guy can play. We'll see, but he's taken over a bum team at 2-4. The Packers, Jawan, this dude is a damn walking travel agent. He's gone somewhere every day. You need to start bringing your PlayStation with you, get a hotspot, learn to play the game, read a book,
Oh
something,
my
YouTube.
God.
Come on, man. The Bears, you got the best team on paper. The best team on paper. Get it together. Get in the lab. Let's do it, you guys. You guys are really letting down the NFC North. I mean, it's just terrible. I couldn't. God bless America. NFC South. NFC South. This is what a division should look like. You got a 4-3 Falcons team that's fighting. You got a 4-2 Buccaneers team that's fighting. You got the Panthers scrapping at 3-3. You got the Saints at 3-4. The Saints were 0-3. 0-3. They went a 3-1 run. This is what a division's supposed to look like. None of these guys are bums. These are ballers. These guys are shot callers. They're doing it up. This is what you want to see, Pepe.
Yeah, this division right here. This is actually a good division. I mean, you got decent teams. You got this. This might go down to the wire. Who's gonna make the playoffs based on this right here so far earlier in the weeks.
Yes, definitely, definitely. This is a division right here. I'm looking forward to seeing how this one turns out. This is going to be a battle every season. I look for this to be, one year the Bucks take it, one year the Panthers take it, one year the Falcons, one year the Saints. I don't think anybody's going to dominate this division. It's going to be left and right. This is probably going to be some of the best football we're going to see in Matrix. The
Yes, sir.
NFC East. NFC East. This is a pretty good division as well. You got the Giants up there at
Mm.
6-1, Cowboys at 5-1. I had a lead on the Cowboys. I was up 10-0, blew the game. I don't know what the hell I was doing, man. Cracking PCP, something's happening, man. But Redskins, you got JT the boss, dudes out there turning his Redskins into greatness, 4-2. The Eagles, they're kind of shocking me down there at 2-4. I know Marquise is pretty solid. He usually beats up on some bums in the break room, but he's just got to get into the playbooks. He's got to get him a scheme going. I think he'll end up crawling back up to about 8-8, 9-7. But definitely a rough start on the season. He played a lot of heavy hitters early on.
Yes, sir. Giants and Cowboys are balling. Redskins are not too far away. Eagles, you're really disappointing me. You're one of the teams I thought that'd be at the top, so you're gonna
I
have to
know
get it together.
he's got to
I
get
did
it
not
together.
think that you were gonna be at the bottom of the division.
So the last division we're going to go over is the NFC West. This is your division, Peyton. Let me know what's going on out west, dude. What's going on out there?
Um, Seahawks is right there with the Rams. He's 4-3. He's on a 2 game losing streak. That's actually surprising to me. I'm on a little 2 game win streak, so I'm just leading the division by a little bit. 49ers and Cardinals. I know Cardinals are rebuilding. 49ers are there. He just probably had a couple. He had a tough couple games starting off. So I mean, he's there too. He's not too far away. But this division could go to anybody. I want to say except like unless you're rebuilding like the Cardinals. I'm not sure he's in win now mode. So I feel like he just getting pieces. They're getting draft picks for next year, just getting ready for next year. But Seahawks and 49ers definitely right there with me.
Yeah, that's a good looking division as well. It looks a little top heavy. I know that Red was looking pretty good early on. Theo, had a nice little record. He was putting up some stats, but he's fallen behind a little bit. However, he has probably one of the younger teams in the division. So even if he doesn't win the title this year or compete big time this year, he's set up for the future. The Cardinals, I know that he's building up Kyler Murray. I think this division is going to be a little bit closer in the years to come. You and the Seahawks might run away with it early on this year, but you guys are going to have to do a little bit of rebuilding. You have to do some reloading. You got a little bit of players that are older, so it's going to be an interesting division.
Oh, most definitely.
So, you guys, that's pretty much it for the podcast. As always, we always put the rules here at the end. You can go ahead and just pause it, check it out, read through it. If you don't understand, ask questions. Half the battle with this league is just getting people to read. I have all the answers to any question you're going to ask in all the little calendars, all the little rule section. Just read through it. Use the rules to your advantage. As far as trades, look through here. There's always a way to get an advantage, even with the rules. Take a look at it. Look at the position changes. Look at everything we got. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, @MatrixMadden. Hit us up on our email, matrixmaddenleague@gmail.com. Follow me, White Dragon 1987 on YouTube. Keep checking in on us, you guys. Keep playing your games. Peyton, thanks for being here, sir.
Yeah, no problem, man. Anytime.
All right, you guys. So Matrix Unplugged. Have a good one. Take it easy.